Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Polkadot. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump straight into the charts. So taking a look at Polkadot on the daily chart, I was away for a couple of days and now I'm back to making content on a daily basis. So as you can see, we do have a little relief rally happening in the markets right now, and some altcoins are having a nice move to the upside, maybe 20-35% move to the upside. So good swing trading opportunities here. I did swing trade some near and just a nice little tiny trade there, but I'm being cautious overall and not trying to sell everything and just hoping that it's going to drop another 50% like a degen. Now, we still have the same Fibonacci retracement. As always, at the start of every video, I try to show this just so that the newcomers can see how we are trading and what is our setup. So if you don't know how to use the Fibonacci retracement, as always, there's going to be a link down below in the description. So feel free to go and watch that video first so that you know how we operate with the Fibonacci retracement, because it is a crucial part in my technical analysis. So we have the swing high printed in November of 2021, and we have the swing low printed in July of 2021, and we have our 1.618 target all the way down here at $3.69.5. Now, if you ask me, I do think we're going to get to that target. I do think we're going to stay in this blue support block for quite some time until we see that strong breakout from spring, which I'm expecting to happen after the Fed stops increasing interest rates. And I think that is going to happen in May, because they do have the FOMC meeting coming up in February, in March, and in May. I think they're going to increase the interest rates by 25 basis points in February and March. And then we're going to stop increasing the interest rates in May. And we're going to start cutting the interest rates at the end of this year, or perhaps at the start of 2024. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, when the bull market is going to start heating up. Until that happens, we need to be accumulating as much as we can, and obviously not being stupid and crazy about it. But still, if you want life-changing gains and you want to build wealth, this is where you start doing that during these bear market bottoms where no one is buying, well, except the smart people, obviously. So as you can see, we started falling out of this large falling wedge that we had here, and we were really tight in this apex, and I was hoping for a break to the upside, because like always, there is a 75% chance of a break to the upside. However, with the Bitcoin dropping, altcoins dropped as well. And if I start zooming in here, as you can see, now we are below these levels. So what we can do is we can continue the trend lines here, and this is actually seen better on the weekly. So let me just switch over to the weekly chart real quick. There we go. As you can see, so this is seen on the weekly chart, much better, much cleaner, I would say. And as you can see, we are running back into this resistance trend line here. So this was the support of the falling wedge. We had one retest in July 2021, multiple retests during summer of 2022, then a couple of retests during fall this year, and right now we fell below and we're back testing that level as resistance. And if I drag this as well, what you can do is you can continue dragging these resistance trend lines, and they are going to be valid levels. Okay, so let me just make sure that that's accurate, because I do want, there we go. So we still have, actually we do have a bit of upside left until we start retesting that as resistance. So around about 5.3%, just below $4.95. That's where Polkadot can run into, and we can see a pullback from there. So from there all the way back to the 1.618, that's going to be a 9.3% pullback, and that's a potential swing trade for you. Now, will I be taking that swing trade? No, because I do not want to be making these risky moves near the bear market bottom. Next question is, if we have a major breakthrough here and we get very overbought in the next couple of days and the RSI on the daily is going to go absolutely bananas, then yes, I'm going to take some profits and then I'm going to buy back on the next pullback, because if you've been in the markets for quite some time, then you know that after every major breakout, there's going to be a little pullback. Even if you're going to continue with the trend, there still has to be that pullback, and that's exactly where we buy back in. So that's my strategy, and yeah, that's what I would be doing. So we also have a smaller Fibonacci retracement here, so we're going to get rid of all of that, and we're going to see what's going on here. So we have a smaller fib with this smaller fractal. As you can see, we have the swing high in August 2022, we have the swing low in July 2022, and our 1.618 target was at $4.48, and we perfectly met that. We just opened a candle or closed the candle below that level, and now we're recovering to the upside. We may run into the 1.414 and get sent back down, potentially coming all the way down to the second fib level at $3.74. Now, that also aligns with the 1.618 of the larger fib, so there is more confluence in that level. Let me bring back the drawings. As you can see, the 1.618 is there, the second fib level is there of the smaller fib, and the bottom of this large support block is there. As you can see, this level here is going to have a lot of buyers, because you can see that the last time we were there in 2020, people bought up Polkadot fairly quickly. So I do think this is potentially going to be our bottom here for Polkadot. I'm really aiming and hoping this is going to be the bottom, but obviously if we see a pullback for Bitcoin back to, let's say, $12,000, $10,000, then there is a good chance that Polkadot is going to probably drop below $3.69. And at that point, I would say it's a no-brainer, you know, buying Polkadot below $3 or $3.50. It's really cheap at that point. Now, jumping back into the daily chart, let's take a look at the daily RSI and see what's going on here. So as you can see, we had a move all the way back into the purple support block, which I said was a good buying opportunity. We retested it perfectly retested, as we have done many times before in the past year and a half. And we had a very nice, look at this move to the upside, very strong breakthrough. And we even broke above this resistance level that was previously our support level. So what I'm hoping for here is that we come back down and retest that level as support and have another move to the upside, because that would be the healthy thing to do. However, this right here isn't really healthy, because this is just a straight parabola and we're going to come back down eventually. And you just look historically. Every time you have these strong moves to the upside, you have strong moves to the downside. Look at this. Look at this, right? There's always going to be a reaction to an action, and this is the action, and we're getting the reaction. So is this a good opportunity to swing trade? Possibly, but that's for you to decide, because you're going to be the one taking the risk. Like I said, for now, I'm not risking. I would just advise you, although I'm not a financial advisor, I would just take my Polkadot coins and be done with it, right? Because you don't want to add those extra levels of stress when you don't need to. But the fact that we're above the 20 EMA on the daily chart, we're holding it as support, that's a pretty good sign. And yeah, like I said, we might run into the 1.414 here. We might go slightly higher to run into the daily 55 EMA, but overall, I do think this is just going to be a lower high. I think we could start talking about a more serious move to the upside if we start breaking above this November high. And even if after we break above the August high, I think that's going to be really bullish, but I don't think that's going to be coming anytime soon. Potentially, what could also happen is we might have another run in over here into the blue trend line. As you can see, we had one move, second touch, and now we're going to get the third touch coming up to, let's say, $6, and then having another, move to the downside. So that's what I'm seeing here for Polkadot. Good levels to dollar cost average, even after this little rally, but I would wait just a bit. But if you've been scratching and clawing to buy into Polkadot and you just got a bag of, $10,000 that you've been wanting to put into Polkadot, you can just throw a couple of orders here and there. But I mean, man, come on, it's $4.68. It's really cheap. This is really cheap. People are going to be crying for these prices in the next 2 years, you know, when we're sitting at the all-time high prices at the next bull market. So yeah, just remember these times. Remember that you had the opportunity. Remember that you had people show you the way and kind of, you know, show what they were doing. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover here for Polkadot. If I missed out anything important on the chart, please let me know down below in the comments section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to check out my Patreon, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.